This is going to be a little bit of a different style of content. I'm about to walk through a regional trade show that we have every year in Southern California. It is called the Ihaci Trade Show, okay? You can find out more, I believe, at ihaci.org. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm off the top of my head. I think that's their website. But the Ihaci Trade Show goes on every single year. It's in Pasadena, California, and it's a great networking event, okay? It has lots of contractors walking around the show, lots of service technicians walking around the show, lots of manufacturers and distributors and even marketing companies there, and they're just showing what they have to offer. Now, the trade shows, this is a very, very small one in comparison to something like the AHR trade show, which is ginormous. The AHR trade show typically has, I think, 10,000 people in attendance over a 3-day period. This one is a very, very tiny show, probably 1% the size of something like AHR, but these shows are awesome, especially, to be honest with you, when they're smaller, because it gives you more of an opportunity to have great, valuable conversations with people, whether it be a manufacturer or even just a person walking through the show. Now, in my situation, it's really cool because I get to go out, meet manufacturers, see new products, network with people, and every once in a while I get recognized by a few people at the show. We get to take pictures. I get to have great conversations with people. So it's really, really cool. But I encourage everybody out there to go to your local trade show, whether you're a technician, an owner, whatever, even a student. Just go to the trade shows. They're typically free, majority of the time. I'm sure there's some that aren't, but they're typically free, and there's lots of great information. And sometimes what you'll find, like for instance, in this video, I talk with some people from Navac, and we've got some footage of a new tool, their power tubing bender, I think is what they called it. And it's cool because that's not released yet, and there's not very much content on it on social media yet. So it's really neat to be able to get some footage and talk to Navac and hear their thoughts and why they designed it. Now, I have no affiliation with Navac. It was just something cool that I thought I'd throw into the video. So let's get on with it, and we'll catch you on the next one, okay? Walking around the show, you know, these trade shows, there are a lot of sales and marketing. They're trying to push their products to everybody, but it's cool to be able to see what everybody has to offer. Oftentimes these shows are points at which they will use this opportunity to release new products, or having conversations with these people, they will disclose things that maybe hasn't been made public yet. So it's really interesting. And it's not just the fact that I'm a social influencer, because a lot of people don't even know who I am, especially manufacturers. So come to these shows. You know, they have them regional specific. You'll see, like this, honestly, is a very, very small show. Goes to that other side wall. There's not that many people here. And this is a lower number than I've ever seen at this show. But it's really cool. You get to interact, and honestly, I prefer the shows when they're less crowded, because you get more time to actually have genuine conversations with manufacturers or manufacturers' representative. Let's be honest. Most of the time, they're not direct manufacturers. They're companies that they've paid to represent their products. But it's really neat. It's neat to be able to see the new stuff that's out. Walking over here, you know, we get the opportunity to see people that, like for instance, TruTech Tools, you know, they're one of my partners, and you get to see all the stuff that they have, all the different tools that they're showcasing. And, you know, it's neat for a technician to be able to come and see stuff that, you know, he only sees on the internet. You actually get to hold it in your hand, look at the different tools. It's interesting too, you know, it's very interesting to be able to showcase all this stuff. I can't not come over to the Field Piece booth. You guys get to see all the cool stuff. Of course, you guys get to see most of this on my channel too, but it's really cool. Now, something that I haven't been able to use is the combustion analyzer. I haven't seen that yet. Now, in all fairness, they did ask me if I wanted to make a video with the combustion analyzer, but I don't do enough to use a combustion analyzer. I really don't work with those products very often, so. But it's really cool. They got tons of cool stuff, as always. And, of course, they got new stuff being released. You know, can't really talk about anything now, but they got all kinds of new products. You guys can see right here,
is my jam, the SC480, the meter that I use all the time. So, and of course, the recovery machine in the background, the MR45, and then sure we got the VPX7 vacuum pump over here too. It's really cool to be able to have the opportunity to work with a company like Fieldpiece, because they do make some awesome awesome products, and they listen to contractors, you know? So you don't have to be a social influencer like myself to impact Fieldpiece. All you got to do is send them an email. They read the emails. They listen to what people want, because of course they're in business to make money, right? You know, but at the same time, they want to know what contractors want in their tools. So feel free to reach out to Fieldpiece. I'm sure if you go to their website, you can find all the different ways that you can get a hold of them. Quick Model actually just downloaded their load calculation software, because we're using that to do the load calculation for my house. I have no affiliation with them, but my buddy Adam said it was a great program, and I've been using it and learning from it. I'm not an expert, but it's pretty cool. Interesting product, duct saddles. So you're not pinching the duct, you're actually just cradling the duct, creating less of a restriction. That makes sense. It's a pretty smart product. I bet you they can probably 3D print those too. Manufacturing super quick. That's really smart, you know, because if you take duct and you suspend it, it's going to have a pinch point, but this, you know, spreads the load essentially, and you have less of a pinch. Pretty smart. So you get to actually see tools that, you know, aren't what everybody knows. Now this looks very familiar to another manufacturer's product, but this one's called Velocity Grip. But this right here looks really familiar to another company. I'm intrigued to know if that's, I can't remember the company's name right now, but it's really cool. All kinds of great products here. Good to see vehicles, different setups that auto manufacturers do for their, you know, different, what do you want to call them? The companies that outfit the vans. Upfitters, I think is what they're called. Samsung air conditioning booth. All kinds of great stuff. Yellow Jacket, Lucas Millhopped, to see all the different alloys and different soldering methods. Honeywell Home, or Residio, I guess is what you want to call it. Teslong. It's funny, like some manufacturers just aren't at their booth. It's called also lunchtime, and it's kind of the slow time of the show. That's why I'm able to film over here. Look at this. Got Bosch. Funny, this is Midea, the Midea brand, which is the same as Bosch, because they make the Bosch equipment. Be kind of curious to know if you can buy it cheaper from Midea than you would from Bosch. Emerson's booth with all their products. California Energy Commission is got information. You know, we're from California, so we have all kinds of different rules that they have a part in implying. Ferguson, which is a distributor for Trane in our area, but Trane also sells from their own supply houses. It's kind of a weird situation here in Southern California. Hungrite. That is a really interesting name, Hungrite.
I know he has. I've watched it.
Again, van outfitters and all kinds of different ERVs, I'm assuming that is. Yeah, that's an ERV. Got the Blue On booth. Got Brian from Blue On right there. Awesome. Check it out, Ben. Got someone wearing your tactical shirt right there. It's so funny how small the creator world is. We all know each other. We're all friends. Interesting. Contractor financing. Looks like maybe a business help group. Contractor University. I imagine it's a sales company, probably. The Navac booth, they got their new automated bender, tubing bender right here. Look at that. Hasn't been released yet, but it's coming soon.
Yep, end of March.
So that's really cool.
March 31st, April 1st, something like that.
That's neat. So, you know, I've talked about it before that Navac they're revolutionizing things. Now, do I think that that bender is the perfect tool out there? No. But what I really like about their products is they're revolutionizing the industry and they keep improving their products. So is that bender the last iteration of their automated benders? I highly doubt it. I'm sure that they're going to sell that one, find the flaws in it, then improve it, then move on. And the cool thing is that they seem to be, at least so far, a company that's interested in improving their stuff. So that's really cool. So what's the name for this guy?
The power tubing bender.
The power tubing bender, okay? And think about it, guys. Same battery technology as the tube expander, same battery technology as the flaring tool. You got a new battery, you got that same thing, and now you've got a tubing bender.
Yep.
Let's have a look at it.
So you got the dies, you just set it in place.
Okay.
I got a 1/2 inch pipe here, so I'm setting up for 1/2 inch,
Gotcha.
inch. And then here, either 1, 2, 3. Since 1/2 inch is in the 2 range, I'm gonna make sure I'm in that 2 spot right there.
Got you.
So all I do is make sure it's backed out all the way. I got my mandrel there that I go ahead and put on, and I put it right in place. Right, so I bring the tool up, I have it right there in place, and I just bring the tool up to it, and now I'm in control. So,
got it. So you can stop it wherever you want to stop it. It's not an auto function.
No, not an auto
Got
function. Because you may want to do different angles.
Yeah.
So all the way up, it'll do a 90, and then watch this. When I back it down on 3/4 and 7/8, usually what happens is
you break. Well, on other brands, you'll break the top right here because they're made out of plastic, and when you try to separate it from it. So how did you guys go about solving that problem?
So when we back it out, notice this little stop right here.
Yeah.
It bumps it right out.
So, okay, so on other brands, on the manual ones, we have to sit there and manipulate it, and oftentimes I've had people break the plastic head right here and cause problems. So you guys put this little arm right there to pop it out, so that way we don't have to do it in the field. That's
Exactly.
really cool.
There's also a reverse bender attachment. You can buy it as a separate SKU. This is out in March. Check your local supply houses or TrueTech Tools or online retailers.
Awesome. So you heard that first. Check it on at your local supply houses. If you can't find it at your local supply houses, TrueTech Tools. Be sure if you're going to use a TrueTech Tools, go to their website, use my offer code Big Picture. You can get a 8% discount on checkout, and I get a small commission from it, so it helps the channel. So
and it's under $500.
Under 500 bucks.
Under 500.
I appreciate the price points at which you guys have been pricing your tools because it makes it affordable for us technicians. Well, thanks so much, bro. I appreciate it. So we have something here that is near and dear to me, and that is RSCS. RSCS is a training organization. Now, I personally have been part of my local RSCS chapter, the Arrowhead chapter. I am not currently active in the chapter, although I am still a member, but RSCS is a great training resource. It gives everybody the ability to learn. I came up in a time that we didn't have a lot of information, and the internet wasn't as popular at the time, so there wasn't a lot of training information on the internet. So it's really cool to have an organization like RSCS, and you guys can find out more about RSCS. They have individual chapters all over the place. Now, they're not as active as they have been in the past, but if you go to rscs.org, you can find out more information. All right, so walking around the trade show, check this out. I walked over here and I happened to see something. You notice these look like you would see them on like a fire truck or something, retractable steps. Well, this company, again, no affiliation with them, Car, they actually make these for all different sorts of vehicles, and they'll mount, like this one mounts to the hitch. Look at this. You pull that down, mounts in the hitch, and then if you come over here, you can actually see they have it set up on a utility body truck, and these things are totally retractable, so they fit out, and the way it was explained to me is they actually have custom mounts that'll mount to the frame rails, and that's really cool. So you can see they're spring-loaded, they pop out, and then he can hop up and get into the top of the utility body. He's got a grab handle up there too. So in the past, I've had a service utility body, and that was one of the things that was difficult for me. Now I have a van now, but I've been told too that they even have, and correct me if I'm wrong, you even have stuff for vans now too, right?
Vans as well, yeah. Retractable
Yeah.
steps, grab handles for vans, service bodies.
That's really cool.
Safety and productivity.
Yeah, it's really, really neat. So check it out. The company name is Car. And you guys, I'm sure, car.com. You guys can find out more information. So check it out.